Lipsitz. We met it on Marshall, right?
I do believe that it was Marshall that I was first introduced to you.
Yeah. On the set or beforehand?
Probably leading up to it, I think. Yeah.
Maybe at that, what was it, Channel 2? Old Channel 2 place?
Channel 17.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
WNED? Wasn't that?
Yeah, the big building on the...
Lower Terrace.
Lower Terrace, yeah.
It's still WNED, yeah. But that's that half interesting because that's really... Well, a little prior to that is when Peter and Kyle and I first, got together and worked in a capacity for the first time together, which was on Johnny Abraham's movie, All at Once, which he shot here, his first one he brought here. And Kyle, I want to say, was like in the AD department, and Peter and I were doing casting for it. I was assisting Peter. He brought me on for that. But yeah, then it wasn't long after that we did Marshall, and that's where you were a big part of what we did. That's for sure.
Yeah.
How many days were you on Marshall? Do you remember?
It was
you had quite a bit.
More than a week, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Feel like it.
The jury, we were there.
Yeah. There was a good number of you,
maybe
too,
10 days.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, something like that. 7 or 10 days.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was a good experience. Holy crap, man.
It was. That was...
to see and meet and talk to Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
And...
all those other stars. I had this moment.
All of them. Yeah. Sterling Brown.
Yeah.
Let's name drop the hell out of this. Who else was in?
James Cromwell.
He was amazing as the judge.
Yeah.
He just started talking to me.
Yeah.
And like
such a
I was starstruck,
gentle
man.
Giant. Gentle giant.
And we would be talking on set.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asking these questions to the other jurors. I'm like, where are we supposed to be walking in from? Like he goes, there's an imaginary door right there. You're supposed to walk from that. And so we're just laughing about that. And I was like, all right, well, I just, I guess I need to brush up on my miming. And then he laughed, and he was awesome.
Yeah.
And he would come back in the juror extras area.
Yeah.
And hang out. And we got a couple of pictures with him and stuff. And
yeah. He seems real down to earth.
Yeah.
Kate Hudson was on that.
Kate Hudson.
I like to think that her and I had a special moment.
Oh yeah, you guys definitely did. What?
I tell people about this as if it really,
What?
I know. It was
Talk
probably more or less a figment of my
think she remembers you?
imagination, but this is how I recall. There was that long hallway outside of the courtroom where we filmed.
Yeah.
And it was usually bustling and filled with crew members and equipment on either side, and it was just always busy.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was what was going on, but one day I was walking down there, and I swear there was nobody there except all of a sudden walking towards me from the other end of the hallway was Kate Hudson.
Nice.
So
in slow
we're
motion,
walking
of course.
by each other, right?
Her hair blowing in the wind.
Right, that's how
Indoors.
I saw it. But then as soon as she crossed away from me and I walked by her, I did one of those things where, I turned back and looked again just to sort of take in what had just walked by me. Of course.
Yeah.
And, she was looking at me too, like right at that moment, like caught me get like in the starstruck, like in awe, like, oh my God, Kate Hudson just walked by.
She's beautiful. I don't care how old she is.
So I like to tell myself that she was, taking that in too at the same time. But
she was all about you.
She was, I'm sure, just laughing in her head, thinking, this young boy.
Hey, she still got it, and she'll probably always have it, and she's beautiful. Not only beautiful, but she has a certain aura and energy about her that is just like her piercing eyes. Because I'll tell you about a not so intimate moment that I had with her. Oh, and I had an intimate moments with Josh Gad as well.
Oh yeah,
3.
he was awesome.
He was awesome. But with Kate Hudson, it was, the scene was over. We were breaking for lunch or something. And normally, before the director cuts, Reggie Hudlin cuts, he'll get the main actors out of there before the extras go, right? Well, he did not do that this time. And she was walking out with everybody. And she happened to be walking out right next to me. And it was weird and awkward, and people were being weird around her, and just starstruck, obviously, right? And so what I did was, I knew that she had to go to, her dressing room was like on a different floor. I know she had to go to the elevator to take it. So I kind of became her security guard and like was like pushing, like gently nudging people out of the way who didn't know that she was coming through, and sent her into the elevator, and she just smiled.
Yeah.
But
well, I had that was also the set. The Marshall set was also the set where DMX. I found DMX looking at the empty buffet trays. We had just finished lunch.
Yeah.
He was like, I came down to the lobby. I see the only person there. There was nobody there.
Yeah.
Me and one of the locations guys, we come down. He's just looking through the buffet things.
Rest in peace.
And I was like, yeah. I said to my friend, Justin, who does locations, Justin Hank. I was like, Justin, do you know who that is? He was like, nah. I was like, yo, that's DMX. He was like, nah, son. I was like, watch this. Yes. I don't know how I had the confidence, where it came from. I don't know.
Don't tell me you
to
barked.
this day, I don't know. No, I didn't bark. But I walked right up to him and I was like, yo, X. I knew to call him X. Yeah. I don't know how I knew to do that, but I just did that. Like, I didn't, like, I was like, it just seemed like that was how you had to do it. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that I did that, because he responded in a very positive way.
Oh, awesome.
Like, loved that we acknowledged him, you know. I was like, what are you doing here? Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, family court, you know. I'm like, you know.
Oh.
But then I knew, because of BET, I knew that Reggie knew him. I knew that he knew him. You know what I mean? So I took a risk, and I knew, like, I'm sure if I can bring him up there. Like, well, who's going to be mad at me for bringing DMX onto the set of somebody who he's already friends with, the director he's already friends with, you know? Yeah. So that was cool.
And so you brought him up, and I saw him in between takes, and I didn't know that it was you that brought him up. As soon as he walked in on the set, I was like, that's fucking DMX. That's DMX. And I was in the jury box with all the other jurors, and I'm like telling them, and no fucking buddy knew who the hell he was. Like, they're like, oh, okay. I'm like, what do you mean, okay? It's DMX. Yeah. That's fucking DMX. And because I'm a huge fan, dude. I love his music. And, so Bill Brown was next to me in the jury box. Rest in peace. Yes. And you know, Bill was an older gentleman, of course. I'm like, Bill, that's DMX. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, with his accent. And I'm like, he's a rapper. He sings up in here, you know, like, oh, God. And so I start singing, lose my mind. And Bill is just looking at me like, no, I don't think I'm familiar with that.
No, I can.
But I think I was more starstruck with DMX than anyone else there, you know, because he was part of my fucking upbringing, childhood. Like, he came out in the in the 90s?
Yeah, definitely.
And which I was an adult by then, but I felt like a kid seeing him. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Josh Gad. So my first encounter with Josh Gad, first of all, they were singing Boys to Men all the time.
Yeah, they loved. It was him, Josh, and Sterling, right?
Yeah.
They would just bust out into these a cappella sessions, right?
Yeah, Josh, Sterling, and who was it? John? Was it? Who was the prosecutor? I forget his name. Stevenson? Dan Stevens, right?
Dan Stevens, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. By the way,
it wasn't him. Yeah.
He was in the courtroom, and he was either on the prosecutor. I thought he was the prosecutor. No,
Yeah.
I thought he was. But
Yeah, because Josh was the defense.
Yeah, Dan. They had one of the. I don't mean to cut you off, but one of the ads had a party at his house, at his Airbnb, and I showed up with some of our other friends, and I'm on the porch of this house on the west side talking to this guy for an hour, just shooting the breeze, talking about Buffalo. I'm thinking the whole time that this guy is a crew member.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the crew were from other places, some of
Yeah.
whom were even from other countries. And this guy had like an Australian accent, you know?
Yeah.
And then like I go inside later on and I'm like, what does that guy do on set? What's his job? And they looked at me, they were like, oh, that's Dan Stevens.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even know who that is.
Okay, thanks. Who is
They were
that?
like, don't you know Downton Abbey? Like,
Yeah.
that was back when that was,
It was
huge, you know?
Yeah.
But he's so cool. I mean, just so cool and, like, genuine, and just seemed like such an ordinary kind of guy, you know? Didn't give off this celebratory vibe at all. Or celebrity vibe, I should say.
It's most people that we meet, you know.
Josh was pretty humble too.
He was really cool.
Yeah.
I was saying they were singing Boys to Men all the time. Well, first of all, so I met him in the bathroom twice. It's like in between takes, we were allowed to do whatever we wanted, get off set and whatever. So I went to the bathroom, and I'm Josh Gad. I met him on 3 instances on the set of Marshall because just randomly. The first one was I had to go to the bathroom, and I was standing at the urinal, and who comes in and stands at the urinal next to me? And you know the rule is no talking, look straight ahead in the men's room. I couldn't help it, man. I just looked over and I did a double take, and I was like, oh, hey, what's up? And as I'm urinating, and he just looks at me and he's like, hi, you know, like these, very Josh Gad, you know, and it was weird. And I washed my hands, got done, washed my hands, and I was kind of waiting for him to come out so I could talk to him or something. I wasn't going to ask for a picture in the bathroom, you know, that's kind of weird. And you don't really do that on the set of movies, you know? So I was washing my hands, but he just didn't come in the comfortable allotted time, you know? So sure. I just left. Then that happened again. The same thing. And it was just him and I in the bathroom. And then I'm thinking, like, is this motherfucker following me in the bathroom?
Yeah.
You know, because I was there and then he shows up. And then the third time, so the second time I had a little more time and we were in the sink area. And I was like, hey, man, I love Boys to Men. It's so cool that you guys are, singing that. He's like, oh, yeah. He was extremely awkward, but nice and kind.
Yeah.
And I said, they played at my wedding. And he goes, oh, yeah. Like it went over his head. He didn't hear it.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't even know if you know the story.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Right, yeah.
But for somebody who doesn't, that's funny. That just like...
Because I mean, when you say that to somebody, it's like, what?
Yeah.
You're either a millionaire who flew in Boys to Men to play at your wedding, or I don't know what the fuck you're a liar, Like,
yeah, sure, yeah. Oh,
sure, you did.
Yeah, Boys to Men.
Yeah,
sure.
or you went to a Boys to Men concert and got married or something. Yeah, Anyway, anyone can look up that story. I've told it a million times. But he just, like, I don't think it registered in his brain.
Yeah.
And then so that was it. And I'm like, I'm not going to fucking explain it. So third time, we got on an elevator together randomly because, again, their dressing rooms were on a different floor. I was leaving for the day. And I was going down. It stopped on a floor. And then all of a sudden, here comes Josh coming in on the elevator. And it's just him and I. And it's like, hey, man. And I don't think he knew that we had met 2 previous times, And we're riding this long, awkward elevator ride. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to pull up the video of me dancing at my wedding and Boys to Men in the fucking background and just show them, fuck it. And so I'm like, hey, man, so check it out. And I play it. He goes, oh, were you at that wedding? And I'm like, okay, he definitely doesn't know that I'm the same person that had met him 2 times before in the bathroom and had taught. And like, you know what? It's okay. As it should be, because it's like, who the fuck am I? He was kind all 3 times, but for him to make the connection that I was the guy who told him that the Boys to Men connection.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, I blew my chances with Josh Gad.
It's all right.
It happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
But what an amazing experience, man.
Yeah.
To have that huge production in Buffalo and at the after party, meeting everyone.
Yeah, that was
dude,
a good
I
time.
talked to Reggie for like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like he was amazing. And I kept in contact with him like over social media and stuff. And he's just incredible. He's always been incredible, but he's skyrocketed like even further.
Oh, yeah.
Like being not only like being at the White House, but like Kamala Harris is like his daughter's godmother or something like that. It's
I didn't even know
like
that.
Yeah, it's insane because I follow him on social and like see all that stuff and
No, he's an impressive guy for
super
sure.
impressive. Yeah.
We were lucky that he came through with that movie, and
we almost didn't get that movie.
Yeah.
We were close to not having it.
Yeah,
I think
it did a lot for this area, and it really spurred on, so much of what we have today.
Yeah. And I think, Rich Wall and Tim Clark had a huge part in that, and really advocated for them to, check out the buildings and the sets and the architecture, and what Buffalo and the surrounding area could offer for a huge production like that.
Yeah.
As they always do.
Yeah, they were huge advocates and continue to be for this area in terms of movies, for sure.
Yeah.
It's with the way the tax credit has just been revamped, I really think that we're kind of poised for an onslaught of work.
Yeah.
And I think it's just right now at this point just a matter of the strikes resolving themselves,
Yeah.
Which I think will happen.
I think it'll happen too.
I mean, as bullheaded and as wrong as the Producers Association, may be about not meeting the demands, I think that they're not totally oblivious to the fact that they can't make these productions without both of those facets, without both the writers and the actors on board.
Yeah.
So good luck.
Yeah.
I mean, it needs to be resolved, and
it definitely does.
It needs to be, I think as it relates to AI technology, I think our industry, is reliant to an extent on technology.
Mm-hmm.
There's no disputing that. And I think if you're going to be in our industry, you have to embrace that to some extent. Yeah. But that being said, there needs to be constraints put forward because it can't be the Wild West.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I've actually noticed, I knew it was going to come to a head like this. I had seen it coming from a mile away because I've noticed, back in the day, if you were in SAG, like you were set, that was like one of the strongest unions. But it was being chipped away at and contracts were being whittled down. And all of a sudden you have, instead of it being a SAG movie, you had a SAG low budget. You have a SAG ultra low budget. You have and a lot of those agreements don't have any kind of residuals attached to them, or so it was. I think it's a long time coming, and I hope that we can resolve things and really be able to, kind of help the writers, help the actors, and become the strong unions that they once were.
Yeah, I do think it's better. It's better that it's happening now as opposed to it having waited any longer in terms of coming to this roadblock here.
Too bad it couldn't happen during COVID.
Yeah, right.
Two birds with one stone. Shut down and strike. I don't think it would have been as effective.
No.
But but hopefully that will resolve, and
we have a new studio being built here too, which they say if you build it, they will come, right?
Yeah.
And I think that sentiment holds true, especially as it relates to things in the film world, because brand new state-of-the-art sound stages are not like something that are plentiful.
A dime a dozen. Yeah, that's right.
So what we have is really kind of it's an attractive thing for productions, Yeah. So I really think that there's a lot of factors, a lot of variables that are leaning towards the future being bright, Obviously things can always change, but even when we're thrown difficult things, this industry here in Buffalo seems to still float through it. You know what I mean? And the pandemic is an example of it. I tell people all the time, my friends in LA and New York were completely shut down, not working at all, and we were making movies here.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
had Paranormal Activity 7,
That's
you
right.
know, which at the time was called Black Snow, but
That's right.
that was,
I had a part in that.
yeah.
I was guy in suit in the airport,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
I got to slip in a line.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The airport scene,
Yeah.
which I don't even know,
No, I haven't seen it yet.
barely
I'm
made.
probably not even in
I
it.
don't even think the airport scene made much of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Story of my life.
maybe
you
a
know?
little bit.
Yeah.
I think there's very few bits of
I
it,
got
but
paid for saying something,
that's
but I
that's Hollywood though too.
Yeah.
Right?
it
yeah.
was funny because tangent, but so we were walking, doing the airport scene, and they wanted me to walk a certain pattern and path and different from everybody else's, and I'm weaving and I'm winding and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I told them, well, why, if I'm a businessman who's
Just at the
busy,
airport.
why am I not on my phone? And like, because they didn't want anyone on their phones for some reason. And that was weird because it was an airport scene where nobody had a phone. And it's like,
What year is this?
yeah, exactly. Like, what is this like a flashback? Like, what is going on here? Why doesn't anyone have a phone? Is this 1980? But and I said something like, do you want me to be on my phone? And like, no phones. I'm like, okay. But there was one take where the main actress, because I was supposed to walk by all the actors when they were interacting and stuff, like rushing past, and she turned into me and boom, and just ran right into me and just was like, oh my God, excuse me. And I said, excuse me too. And they were like, after that, the one of the PAs or something came up to me and said, that was awesome. Do that again. Bump into her. And I was like, okay. Does she know I'm supposed to bump into her? Like the main actress. And so I did it again. And it was a little forced that second time, obviously. And so I told her, I'm like, I'm in between takes. I told her, I'm like, I'm sorry. They told me to bump into you again, like the accident that we did. Did they tell you? She's like, no. I'm like, okay, sorry. And so we tried to choreograph a third time, and it just wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And so they're like, don't do it.
You're like,
But
stop
that
bumping into her.
yeah. Leave her alone, for
Somebody
Christ's sake.
came
Yeah.
over and was like,
Weirdo.
why are you doing
Yes,
that?
you freak. Yeah. Exactly. But that first time was so natural and so like, oh my God, I'm so sorry,
Yeah.
that I was hoping that they would use that, but I haven't seen the movie, so who the hell knows?
Yeah. That was an interesting time.
Yeah. But that was peak COVID. We all had masks on and everything.
Yeah.
It was weird.
It was a weird time.
Super weird. Making movies. But want me to top you off? I'm going to grab another. That was really good.
Yeah, I might take a quick bathroom break too.
Yeah,
if
of
that's
course.
possible.
Yeah. The new soundstage.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you guys mentioned? Because it's not far from Rich's Atrium, right?
Right.
Niagara Street. Are you going to do like tours, walk over, and
So
is it walking distance? I don't even know.
Yeah, so it's right across the street, and we're hoping to maybe finesse something. Kind of details are a little, they're being worked out as we speak, but we don't want to say too much about it because we don't want to steal from from their official grand opening. But
Okay.
we've been in talks with them because we certainly are one of our hopes at this event was to bring awareness to that, because we want people to know that, hey, this is happening. It's happening right across the street, and it's just significant thing. You know what I mean? I mean, this is going to be very impactful for our industry here.
Yeah.
So,
well, back up even further. Like, let's talk about the convention, August 26th. It's going to be epic. It's the first of its kind in this area, in a lot of areas.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know of any actors convention in LA or New York. Maybe I'm stupid and there's something like that there, but
you're not stupid. I think that
well,
they have
that's debatable.
They have things similar. You know, they have conventions of sorts that I think are geared towards, you know, the entertainment industry and stuff. But they're
they have casting conventions and rep conventions.
You have to go to those major cities though to find them. You know what I mean? So we wanted to bring that to Buffalo because we know nothing like that has ever been here. You know what I mean? And we were heavily influenced by a gear expo that we attended like some months back. And it was just really, you know, we saw a heavy influence and presence from internationally known vendors and manufacturers of like top of the line industry standard equipment, and they came to Buffalo for this gear expo. They sent, you know, not only representatives, but they sent actual, you know, big displays, and like they really showed a legitimate effort at coming and representing and contributing to this gear expo. Yeah. And it just solidified to me and my partners that the outside world looks at Buffalo and the entertainment world as a serious player, you know? And we have so many, you know, things to speak on that. Like, people talk about Buffalo and its locations and its architecture. That's all one thing, you know. It's your ability to traverse from point A to point B, unlike a lot of other cities.
LA.
Right. But we also have a crew base of highly talented, highly skilled Hollywood film professionals here, you know? We have a talent base, a growing talent base, and a growing crew base of talent that is...
We have award-winning actors here.
Yeah, we do, like yourself. But SAG actors, non-SAG, non-union actors. I mean, there's really no shortage in terms of what we have here. We have all the means to support a production, especially a major level production.
Hollywood 2.0.
Yeah, so I think if anything, I mean, we've seen... with the advent of technology, we've seen less of a dependency to make movies just in LA or just in New York, because it no longer matters that you're right by the studio anymore. Right. You know? So yeah, I mean, maybe it's becoming easier perhaps for movies to pack up and come to places like Buffalo. You know,
it's it makes financial sense, that's for sure, with the tax incentives and with the low costs of housing and
the quality of life here. I mean, for crew members who've stayed here for substantial periods of time because of movies, they all gloat about how wonderful their experience was here, how much they loved the food, how much the people were great. I mean, this is a town, or a city, I should say, that is not sick of movies being here. You know, this isn't Chicago, New York, or LA, or Atlanta, where they've seen movies come through their backyard so many times and screw up their plans that they're over it. Right. They're over it. They don't want to see that there's no parking signs on their street today. Like, I don't care about your movie.
Yeah.
That's the attitude there. Here, we're not even close to exhausting that. You know what I mean?
We love it. Are you
We
kidding?
have people who come out with arms wide open, you know, and it's like productions. You know, we have businesses coming out bringing food and stuff to productions just because they want them to be here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of hospitality that you see here in Buffalo.
Yeah. That's pretty incredible. And I think it would be that way no matter what.
Yeah,
The city of good neighbors.
that's right. We are
Yeah.
indeed.
Yeah. But yeah, this expo is going to be incredible.
Yeah, and not just for actors, this expo that we're having, but, you know, if you have an interest even of getting your foot in the door in a crew sense, there's some legitimacy to attending this event as well, because this is a networking event, you know, above everything else that we're packing into it, above all the vendors and everything else that we have in store, which is quite a bit. I mean, we have been keen to make sure that people walk away from this thing really feeling satisfied and really feeling like they got something out of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But above all that stuff, it's a networking thing. It's
think that's the
people
key.
connecting.
Yes.
It's people meeting each other who've never met each other before.
Yes.
It's people learning that this person offers this when they didn't know that was around. You know what I mean? It's those things. And the more that we can do that, the more I think we're working towards, you know, becoming a stronger film community.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's pretty incredible if we look back on the past several years and we were fortunate to be able to watch this film community grow, you know, like I feel like I know everyone in this film community now, but there are more and more people connecting to the community who we haven't met yet. And I think this event will bring everyone together like that. Because just when you think you know everyone, you know, there are a few, there's always these young actors and crew members that are up and coming.
Definitely.
That, you know, you never knew.
I think what you said is important there, because I think there's been a sentiment for a while amongst people to want to try to get together more, to be more cohesive in this community. But I think it's just never happened. You know what I mean? And for one reason or another. But then we also had the pandemic for 2 years. You know what I mean? So I think in this region and this community, more than ever, there's a real itch to come together. You know,
100%. And you know, you mentioned that the pandemic, and we saw what happened to LA during the pandemic. It really devastated the place. And now what happened? There was like a mass exodus from LA, mostly to Austin, right? But to Atlanta, to everywhere, because of the ridiculousness that LA is. Well, not to put LA down, because I'm going there at the end of the month, by the way.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think being a smaller market city like Buffalo, it's advantageous to us in some ways when we are faced with these tough things like the pandemic. We can deal with it better here than a city like LA.
Yeah.
We don't have the numbers of people that they have. We didn't have the infection rate that they had. You know, they had much bigger of a problem to try and contain. We didn't, you know? Yeah. And I think right off of the bat, our numbers were more under control than theirs were to begin with.
Yeah, but even, like, the rules were a lot more strict in LA and really, like, put people in isolation, even more than we were isolated here, I feel. and the strict laws of businesses having to shut down, like a lot of their economy was affected very severely, more severely than it was here. We did, we were able to save a lot of our local businesses, at least. But either way, I want shifting gears, like backing up back to the actor convention. What made you guys, like, this is a huge ordeal. It's huge, and it's so much work and so much stress on you guys.
Yeah.
And you guys are busting your ass. You, Kyle, Peter, and your team.
Yeah.
What made you want to do this?
Well,
where did the idea come from?
I mean, for a while now, the three of us have been tinkering with how we can be more of an asset and a resource to actors around here, aside from just offering auditions and offering up casting notices and giving opportunity in that way. We wanted there to be more to it, because the reality of it is actors will very well be faced with times when work is not happening, whether it's a pandemic you're in the midst of, or a strike,
or a lull,
yeah, whatever it may be.
Yeah,
in
between movies,
there's a litany of things that could happen. Exactly. So I think for us it's about capitalizing on it in the sense of people need to be prepared, because we're getting our ducks in the row. We have the New York State tax credit better than ever. We have a market that, as soon as the long drought from the strike has been lifted, is going to be hungry and thirsty for content. And to me, it's just the perfect storm that's going to result in what I predict to be a decent amount of work in this area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've already had major castings, like in the past couple of weeks. We had, and can I say it? NFL. Yeah. The NFL Visa commercial.
Yeah.
It came through
Definitely.
as a casting.
Yeah.
That I got a call back for.
Yeah. You did. You rocked it. I think another
it's
thing.
It's exciting when you get a call back,
I think in regards to those jobs, like you just mentioned, those big national spots, I think we have a lot to be thankful for in terms of the Buffalo Bills being as hot as they are.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And
are you kidding?
I know, just speaking as somebody who owns a company, I'm grateful for that, because in the year of right after the pandemic and just kind of having that lull that we were in, we went 1 year from really turning quite a lot of money our first year as a business and making profit, which not a lot of businesses can say they've even profited in their first year.
That's right.
To then our next year of business, looking at it and seeing how the lull really impacted us, our numbers, right? Seeing the difference, right? But then realizing that what kept us afloat during that time, a lot of it was really attributed to the fact that the bills, and we had commercial work still happening,
Yeah.
And a lot of it was big commercials, like like we had done an Amazon one with the bills in the past.
Yep.
So that stuff is great for this area, because we want as much of that to be produced here as it can be. And I think a lot of productions, whether it involves players or just the stadium, if they have to come here, we want them to film as much of it here as they can,
Yeah, exactly.
and use as
sense.
much of crew and actors as you can locally,
And I love that that's kind of built into the tax incentive as well. Having to use local actors, local crew, locals. I mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you've got a ton of vendors at this convention. Like this is a legit, like people don't understand. This is a legit convention, bigger than most.
Yeah.
And you've got like Fisher Price
Yeah.
coming, who is always, and if a lot of people don't know, is a local company. Like their headquarters are here, East Aurora.
Right.
And
huge presence. Huge presence.
Yeah. And they've got their research lab here.
Mm-hmm.
They've got their product development labs here. They're always they were recruiting me and my son. We had some free Fisher Price toys to test out in this house, quite a few, and we were given the option to do photo shoots and commercials and be filmed and stuff. I didn't want to get him into the craziness so that his dad is in right now.
Right.
Not yet.
Right.
I want him to make that decision.
Right.
I don't want to be the stage dad just yet.
Yeah.
Maybe soon, but no. But what was I saying? Oh, the vendors are just like out of control. Like I don't know if I'll be able to see them all in one day. I mean, it's incredible.
No, we're ecstatic about that, and just the growing number every day. There seems like there's another one added to the mix.
Yeah. And legitimate.
Yeah.
Like not just small names. Like
we got. I mean, people from all over too, not just this region. We have agencies from, Pittsburgh and potentially Cleveland too.
I saw Doherty, my alma mater, out of Pittsburgh, who helped me get the like a 3-year contract with Walmart commercials.
Where? So your alma mater, where was that?
In Pittsburgh, Doherty.
Yeah, but no, I know Doherty's in Pittsburgh, but your alma mater.
Oh, they were my representation.
You didn't go to school there, did you?
No. I just call them that because they were my cast. They were my what would you call them? They were my agency in Pittsburgh.
Was it your first agency? Was it?
No, because I was with Tamara, Model Talent, before she took over, and before that I was with another guy out of Rochester who he passed away. I've been in the business a long time. Too long. Wait, what do we got to go? Are you sure you want to quit all applications?
You've been in the business so long that it's now asking you to log out.
Yeah. You're done, buddy. That's what that just said. The pop-up on the computer screen. You're done. Actually, what is it? 7:30? We can wrap it up. But, I mean, this convention is legit. And I don't know how you guys are doing it. And can I mention, we can cut this out, but the after party?
Yeah. I mean, you can.
It's for vendors, right?
It's going to be for vendors and.
This will probably come out after the fact, anyway.
Yeah.
But
special invitees.
We're gonna have to have an after party. It's in the works. It's being planned.
That's right.
And it's gonna be bumping.
That's right.
And it's all Harry's fault. No, I mean we need to unwind after that long day.
We need to celebrate too. A lot to celebrate.
Yeah.
I just gotta say I'm extraordinarily proud not only of the work that my partners and I have put into this thus far, also the work of a lot of the vendors, so many of the vendors who have contributed so much time into this and energy into just the planning of it, yourself included. But also just like as a community as a whole, I'm proud. I'm proud to see everything that we talked about, have happened. I'm proud thinking of the future. I think that, at the end of the day, we're going to be really just so pleased with the way things went that day, and also just so excited about the future, you know. And I feel like that every day I'm in this business here, I'm excited about the future, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Same. I couldn't have said it better myself, man. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm really excited. People have always said that, you have to, if you want to be a successful actor, performer, entertainer, you've got to, 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, you had to go to New York or LA. Now, that's not the case. If you were born in this area, here it is. It's coming to you.
Yeah. I feel
Both
that
worlds
way
are, I
really
think.
on the up and up, and
Yeah.
it's just gonna be, just a moment of time until we see a real influx and a more steady influx at that,
And we need to win a Super Bowl or two.
Yeah. That'll be part of the influx.
Part of it.
Yeah.
Go Bills.
Yeah. Go Bills, indeed. This season.
This is our
bring
year.
bring that Heisman home,
This
baby.
is our year, man. The Heisman.
Bring it home.
Yeah. Yeah. This is our year.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's wrap it up.
Cool, man.
Awesome.
This was fun.
Yeah,
Anytime,
right?
I'm
It's
down
just-
to do this anytime. So
Yeah. This is how I like it,
Yeah.
Like one-on-one, it's like you and me talking as friends,
Yeah. No, I like that.
shooting the shit.
I like that a lot.
It's relaxed. It's fucking like we don't have to worry about anything. Like, and it's cool. We talk about cool shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing about these mics is you can have it further away than most mics,
Oh,
and it'll
that's
still pick up beautifully.
yeah.
And I can't stop talking. This is a Shure microphone commercial. And it won't pick up that AC noise
Oh wow.
in the other room. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the mic. It's the mic of choice.
Yes. Cheers, brother.
Cheers to you.
So far away. Okay. What do you think of my setup, man?
I dig it. It's nice. It's like kind of man cave-esque,
Little man cavey.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
in a nothing bad about that. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good to have a man cave. Everybody needs
You got to have a
their space.
rhino head on the wall
Mm.
and
No, I like it. It's
a
it's,
broken ottoman. There we go.
It's cool. It's a cool.
Yeah, it's not
creative
bad.
Space.
Yeah. You know what? This was so cluttered with man cave items that I had to take a lot of it out because it read too, let's say, eccentric, too fucking crazy, basically.
Like a grandma with a bunch of tchotchkes all over the
And dead
place.
cats.
Yeah. Yeah.
More like hoarders.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to get confused for one of those people, Paul.
No. Although, if you look at my living room and see all the toys, it's like a toddler hoarder place.
But when I saw the ball pit, I didn't know if I was at Chuck E. Cheese's or.
With the I put the slide in it too.
Yeah.
That doesn't come with that.
Yeah,
I'm just
okay.
like, let's do this. Let's do this. Yep.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
He loves it though. Oh my God.
I was gonna say.
He tries to. Dude, he's 2.5.
Yeah.
He climbs up the slide, stands up at the top, and jumps in the ball pit.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just like, dude, please don't break your neck.
Yeah.
Like, don't. Oh, good
He's
Lord.
already got the daredevil on him. Did you skateboard or anything as a kid?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
A lot.
maybe he's inherited a bit of that from you.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I'm not doing enough because I feel like he's got to be on a bicycle. He's got to be swimming. And yeah, he's only 2.5, but I don't know.
I feel like he will, knowing how, just based on your personality, I feel like he's gonna consume quite a lot in this world.
Pick that stuff up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's already. I'm gonna turn your
Sure.
channel up.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever you gotta
Keep
do.
talking to me.
Yep.
Talk
Hello,
to me,
hello.
brother.
Talking to you, Paul. How you doing? Can you see my levels?
Yeah.
They good?
I like it.
Good.
Nice.
Nice.
That's what I like. Well, I don't know if you saw the books out there, but we read every morning, and now he follows along and he says the words and stuff. And I think it's more like memorization than actually knowing what the words are. But he'll point and.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And it's all part of learning the language, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
before you understand the words, you're saying them, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And he'll repeat everything I say.
Yeah.
So you gotta watch what I say.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
easy on the swears, right?
Yeah. Well, I never do that anyway.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
if I don't know, fuck something up, I'll stub my toe
Right.
and it'll just come out.
Yeah.
And I'll just look to see if he heard it.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, he hasn't. So
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway.
You can only help that so much. He'll hear things outside of you stubbing your toe, right?
Exactly. I'm still looking at your levels. Keep talking to me.
Yeah.
So I think we're clipping now.
Are we
Turn
clipping?
it up too high.
We're clipping.
What the hell, man? Alright, I'm gonna put it right there. And we'll see how it goes.
Cool.
Jeez. I'm gonna have to do so much editing after this. What the hell's wrong with me? Anyway.